Hey, what's up YouTube? I'm gonna do a little video here. I've had this bike for 10,000 miles now. I'm just gonna go over end to end what I've done to it. What are my thoughts on modifications I've done, maybe what I do differently. I've been very happy with the bike. I got it January of 2022, so it was a leftover from the previous year. Got a good deal on it. Very happy with it. Out of the box, I actually really hated this bike. I thought it was the most grandpa bike Harley makes, and it probably is, but I had a vision for it. I knew that I wanted a Road King, but I liked some things more about this bike than I did on the Road King Special. And plus, the Road King Special costs more and you get less. So I went with this bike, and I've done some modifications to it, as you can probably tell. But we'll just dive right into it. First thing we did was burn through the rubber. Out of the box, the Harley tires, they'll get you down the road, but that's about it. Got about 4,000 miles out of those before they were totally caked. We went with Metzler Marathon Ultra 888s. I've had these on my lowrider. If you're familiar with these big bikes, you know that the Metzler 888 is definitely the move. So we've got them on the front and rear, 6,000 miles on them already, and they look great. They look like they've still got 60-70% of tread, which is unbelievable. Especially the way I ride, man. I go to 100 down the highway all the time, and that's really how you chew through the stock Harley Michelins, is high speed. Got this goofy headlight visor. It was on sale for 20 bucks, right? I figured if there was ever a bike that this could go on, it was probably this one. We went with the Clockworks 16-inch billboard. I mean, aesthetically, it's ugly. I have eyes, I can see it. You can see it too. It's an ugly windshield, but it works really well. I've tried all the windshields. The 21 that it comes with from the factory sucks. It's way too tall. It's not wide enough. It distorts light. It's just no good. I tried some of the smaller ones. I tried a 14. It was good, but not great. I also tried an 11, which was horrible. A buddy of mine had one of these. They also come tinted, and he had a tinted one, and I was so impressed with it. I immediately went home and bought one. I'm able to run 80, 90 miles an hour with a modular helmet flipped up, and I have zero buffeting, which is, I've tried them all. I've tried street glides, road glides. I had an Indian Roadmaster with the windshield that went up and down, and the air was never this clean. You're sitting on this bike with the modular flipped up at 90 miles an hour. It feels like you're sitting in a living room, which is amazing. Come summertime, though, the windshield will come off. We'll get some wind in our face, right? But for the wintertime, this thing is great. Moving over to the bars here, we've got LA Choppers 12-inch T-bars. They're basically like oversized dirt bike bars. They're great, allow for really aggressive riding, both in the twisties and in parking lots. It allows you to go from full lock on one side to full lock on the other side very easily. Got the quad lock cell phone holder. It's not ideal, but it's still better than the ram mount with the elastic. You know the ones I'm talking about with the arms that spring out. God, I've had several of those things over the years, and they really are trash. So far I'm good with this. I wish it wasn't blue. They make a black one, but take what you can get. Of course, we got the eBay cup holder. That's obligatory on any of these bikes. Performance machine grips with the Renthal inserts. If you're not going with heated grips, these are usually the move. They come in chrome and black. Once this inside wears out, you get a new insert for like $5. Slides right in. It's a good deal. Got the Thrashin T-bar bag. This is the second bike that's been on. It's probably got almost 50,000 miles on it now. It's good for one thing. You know, keeping the toaster. That's what it's there for. That's what it does. It does a great job. Of course, we got the highway pegs with the matching gold that matches the headlight visor. Both are on sale, right? I figured they'd match the bike. Getting into the motor a little bit, this is what you call a stage 2. It's got the intake, it's got the exhaust. This is a big Screaming Eagle intake. I like to call it the big stupid intake. But it works well. It looks super aggressive. That's what I wanted. Does it need to be that big? Probably not. But it's the look I was going for. I wanted the grandpa bike to be aggressive. I wanted people to look at it and think, wow, that's a real hot rod. And it really quite is, to me at least. I wanted a stainless steel exhaust that dumped out in front of the bags. I had a vision in my head. I didn't know, I hadn't picked one out yet, but I knew what I wanted. Kirker, that's a Kirker bootlegger, so we went with that. The piping, the way they pipe this is really not ideal. It really needs to come under the case, but it is what it is. I kept burning my jeans on it, so we put some heat wrap on there, solved that problem. And we went with a Woods 22XE cam, which dynoed right at 100 horsepower. I believe the torque was right at 130. I could be wrong about that. If I'm wrong, I'll put it in the description. I've got the dyno sheet, I'll check it. And we put on the quick shifter, which you can see over here, which allows for hard, fast, clutchless shifts. I've got a whole video about this guy here. It's not hard to find. Just check out the videos, you'll see it. It's like 2 minutes long. It's great. And that's all I really wanted out of the motor. I could have gotten more displacement, but the problem with that is you lose gas mileage. Out of the box, I was getting almost 250 miles to a tank of gas, probably like 220, 230. And then once I did the tune too, the big one, I've got a Power Visions tune on here as well, which I forgot to mention. And the reason I went with Power Visions instead of, say, Screaming Eagle or Vance & Hines Fuel Pack is, with the Power Vision, it's the only tuner that gets rid of the governor, right? So these things are limited to 110, which you're gonna hit in the middle of 5th gear. So you've still got the top of 5th and 6th gear, which you're really not using for power, which is a damn shame. So you put on the Power Vision tune, gets rid of that governor. It's the only one that does. And I've got this bike up to 135 on flat ground, and I could probably get more out of it on a hill, but it hasn't happened yet, but I'm sure it will. Anyway, like I was saying, out of the box, I was getting 220 miles to a tank of gas. Now I'm getting about 170, and that's with the 107. So if I bumped it up to a 119 or a 122 or a 131 or 128 or whatever, I'm probably going to get 120 miles to a tank of gas. Yeah, I might have one of the fastest Harleys around, but I mean, that's like an oxymoron, right? This is a big touring bike. I've got a sport bike that goes fast, and this will never, ever, ever hold a candle to the R1, right? As far as speed. So I need to keep that mileage. So I'm good with the motor, stage 2, cam. I don't need any more. I need it as a touring bike. So I'm good with it. I'm very happy with it. Moving on down the line here, we've got a Lepera Aviator. It's a 2-piece seat. This will come right off. Get a cool solo seat. Got it from a friend for the friend price. It's not as comfortable as a stock one, straight up, but it's a lot better looking, and it's still very comfortable. But the stock one had not rhinestones on it, but like studs. Like I'm good on the studs, bro. I don't want studs on my motorcycle. So we've got that sitting in the garage somewhere. And then on the rear end here, we swapped out the Lollipops. Out of the box, these are orange, right? And this is your running light, this is your brake light, and these only act as signals. And I was riding with a buddy one day, and it was the middle of the afternoon in summertime, and I'm hitting the brakes, and he can't see my brake light, and that's on an OEM light. So we got this kit here, and what it does is it turns the Lollipops red, turns all 3 into running lights and brake lights, and you still have your blinkers in here. I don't know why Harley doesn't put them on out of the box, because it's a Harley kit. Maybe it has something to do with DOT, I'm not sure. But this is pretty much mandatory, especially if you're riding with other people. And of course, we got the Metzler 888 on the back. Hard to believe that thing's got 6,000 miles on it, and it still looks great. I've been very happy with the bike. You know, I wouldn't mind one of those new STs. Maybe they'll come out with a Road King ST, but honestly, I've got so much into this bike, it would be really hard to justify getting a new one, because I like this one better than anything that they've got on the showroom floor. So I would have to get a new bike, you know, and then put another 10, 15 grand into it. So you could miss me with that, bro. I'm good with this bike. I'll go ahead and fire it up, let you hear it. These 107s out of the box really sound like sewing machines. But once you get that cam in there, get that lope, you'll hear it. It's a Harley. It's a real deal. With these Milwaukee 8s, man, you pretty much have to have a cam if you want that real Harley sound. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I have a small YouTube channel. You already know, blah, blah, blah. You already know, boys. Weather's changing. I'll see you guys out there, rubber side down. Peace.